Hi, I thought I'd do this quick video for people who either want to work out how to solve the Rubik's Cube, or for those who can solve it but by following some algorithm or other, but you find that largely unsatisfying because you don't understand why the moves you make actually work. So you're really just acting like a dumb computer that follows some instructions blindly. So what I want to do is, rather than give you the exact moves to make, I'll give you the key concepts so that you can come up with your own combinations of moves. Now I do have a set list of things that I do during a solve, but you can mix this up to suit yourself. You know, once you've got the key concepts, you should be able to do that. I'll show you the steps that I go through. One thing is though, I'm going to miss out some shortcuts that I would normally do that get multiple pieces into place at the same time, because I want to avoid confusion. What I want to do is show you the key concepts so that you can solve it. I might cover the more advanced stuff in a future video if enough people ask for it. So I'll kick on and we'll do the solve. I've got two assumptions before we begin. I'm assuming two things of you, which is that you can do some basic manipulations. So for instance, getting a corner into place, I'm assuming that you would be able to do that. Of course, you'd be messing around. Other things would be getting out of place when you do that. That's fine. But as long as you understand that, yeah, you know how to put a corner in and out, and you'd understand how to get an edge in. So if I find the yellow red, so yellow red, I want that into here, that you would understand. Yeah, you can do that easy enough. So as long as you're comfortable with that kind of thing, we'll be fine. The second thing that we need to assume is that you know how to get a corner piece in using a 3-move or a 4-move method. So 3-move method being 1, 2, 3. And the 4-move method being 1, 2, 3, 4. So as long as you've got that nailed, you'll get along fine. So how to solve it? Well, get the corners first. So we've already got a head start on this side. I'm sure you could get to this this stage if my assumptions that I just went over are true. So we've got these corners, these are fine. Now we want to do the white side. So if we have a look and see where we are with this, what we do is, obviously these are the right way up, so these are easy to visualize, but if we imagine this rotated, we can see that that green, which is green, I promise, webcam's not the best, so if we imagine that rotated, the greens would match. So these are in the right place. However, we can see around here, that if this was rotated, well, these blues would be opposite facing, so it becomes kind of obvious once you look at it a while that these two need to swap places, and then these would be all in the right place. So what I do is, I did kind of struggle with this a little bit at first, but I found that I could get these to swap by using the 3-move, 4-move method. Well, actually did the 3-move, 4-move method to put this corner in and out and look to see what happened, see what moved around, and that allowed me to work out what I needed to do in order to get the corners in the right place. So what we're doing is we're swapping these two around, and I do that by, like I said, the 3-move, 4-move method. So I'll get it out with the 4-move method first, and then I'll put it back in using the 3-move method. What you'll find is that on the white side, these are still in the right place, and if you imagine these rotated, that red would be there, so it is in the right place. So the only thing that's wrong is they're not actually rotated, so we need these whites moved up. And this is when we get into the good stuff, because everything from now just involves doing something and then doing the opposite thing. So it's kind of stating the completely obvious, but I'm going to walk it through anyway. Because if I rotate this clockwise, so I'm just going to do the moves that make that go clockwise. So that's clockwise. Everything else gets messed up. That's so obvious. So what if I do the opposite though? So if I do the opposite set of moves, everything goes back to how it was. That's hardly surprising. I've just done the reverse moves. But of course, now we haven't actually done anything. We're back to where we started. We've gained nothing. So if I do those moves again, and we've got that in the right place, This is the only piece we've moved on this top section. So rather than just reverse the moves now, we can move here, and if we do that, the opposite will happen to this instead. So I'll just reverse the moves. It's just completely doing the opposite set of moves. And now these are all correct. And because we did the opposite set of moves, everything else is on the other side, or everywhere else in the cube, in fact, is back where it started, which is great. So now we've got all our corners, once we match up. So now we've only got the edges left to solve. So the reason I kind of concentrate on doing this side and this side, so I concentrate on doing two opposite sides, and the reason to do that is because it means I can do a whole bunch of things without having to use my memory at all. I can just start bunging things in. So if I want this white in here, which I do because that's where it goes, all I need to do is make sure I line up with one of these, one of the ones that are not in place yet. So if I move this out, and I can move that in, making sure I'm aligned here and here, I can shove that in, and I haven't undone anything. Moved that in, but obviously that's not in the right place. So likewise, I could do that with that yellow. Let's move that there, and then we make sure we line up with something that's not in the right place, because we wouldn't want to mess this one up, for instance. So these are the ones we're working with, and we can shove that in, and that's just got all the yellows apart from one. Then we can jump back to the white side. So using this spare that we have, I can start getting all the whites in for speed. I can just get that one in pretty easily because it's ready to go. So I can shove that in easily and not mess anything up. So I've still got this to work with. I can get this white and red one in. So this white red has to get moved into here. Again, we can use this. So before we use it, obviously we'll align that. And then it pops. So that's as I've got all the whites apart from one. So want to put this white in. So it doesn't really matter. You could pick the yellow. Well, we might as well just pick the yellow actually because it's easier. We'll just bung the yellow in. So now we've got the full yellow side. We've got the white side's missing one. So let's just align everything so we can see where we're at. So you can see we're getting really close to the finish line. So now this is where we go back to our case of put something into place and then reverse it. So let's just have a look, see what we've got. So just say we've got this orange and green. This orange and green has to go there. And we do have this spare to work with. Well, in fact, we've got two spares to work with. This is where I can see a shortcut, but I'm going to resist it. So I'm going to put this into here. I'm going to use our spare. So I'll do the moves that put that into place. So that's that into place. So now I want to reverse those moves so that everything goes back to where it was. But before I do that, this is our active piece. So I want to muck around with this because I don't care about this piece anymore. And I can do my reversal. And when we fix everything, this has got another piece in place. So not that many to go yet. Not that many to go. We'll now get maybe one of the blue pieces in. So we'll get the blue and red. So this has got to go to here, and we've got this spare to work with. So I'll move the blue into place. But now I want to reverse the moves that I've just done. So let's do that. And that's us back to here. So that's just got another piece in place. Finally, this is actually going to solve itself, unfortunately, because I would have liked to have a. No, it's not going to solve itself. We're good. So now I'm going to have this orange has got to go into the white space. So yeah, it's going to solve itself. This orange has got to go into this white space, and we've got our spare here. So we put that in, and then we reverse our moves, and then that's all in place. The cube's solved. So the one thing that we didn't have to do, if you bear with me, I will get this into a position so that you can see what does happen quite a lot. So what can happen a lot is that this is where you end up. So you get everything into place, but your last move is that you need to flip a couple of spots. That's perfectly fine because the concept again is exactly the same. You do something, then you do the opposite. So what we want to do is we want to flip this piece. So I do the moves that cause that piece to flip. That's that flipped. Everything else is messed up. But before I reverse the moves, get the other piece in place and do the exact opposite set of moves. And when I do that, everything is solved. So to wrap up, I haven't given you a note of the moves I've made, but they're all simple moves. You can use whatever combination of moves you want in order to achieve what you want, as long as you do the reverse set of moves to get the rest of the cube back to where it was. When you do a particular manipulation, you should write down the moves you make so you can safely reverse them afterwards. But you'll find that over time you'll no longer have to write anything down or refer to your notes because muscle memory starts kicking in. So I hope that helps. Good luck with your solving, and bye for now.